All right, Amber, thanks very much for that. Timothy Renshaw is back with us from Business in Vancouver, and there's a conference going on here in Vancouver about fuel cells.
That's right.
Tell us a little bit about some success of these fuel cells in BC, and what's this conference all about?
Well, the conference is held every 2 years, and primarily to showcase the technology and see where it is. You know, is it developing? Is it being applied to being used? That's one of the big issues here. So. We've got a story about a company that's a technology. They're kind of a spin-off from Ballard, which was, of course, one of the pioneers of this whole technology.
Right.
And their company claims that it can cut 25% off the cost of fuel cells. So this is a really big thing for fuel cells because they sound great. They run on hydrogen, and they only produce as a byproduct is water and power. So
right.
Now that's great, but the real challenge for companies and the whole industry is the cost of fuel cells, especially in automobiles. Now, that's the big holy grail, is to get automobiles running on fuel cells. But it's hugely expensive for hydrogen, for instance. Hydrogen is really expensive. It's way more expensive than any other energy.
Right.
Because you have to extract it from something else. Now, people think that it's just around and you get it, but it's not.
So what does it do putting it into cars? What makes it makes them run for a lot longer or less?
Well, it would be like
footprint?
it would be like any other fuel. You'd have a car would have a hydrogen tank or something. You could run it like that. So it's not like an electric car where you have to charge it up. So, but the thing is, you have to have places to fill up with hydrogen, and if you drive around, there's not many places that have hydrogen.
No. I haven't seen a few on the roadways in the last little while.
Even the buses that run in Whistler are hydrogen buses. The hydrogen is trucked in from Quebec, so it doesn't make a lot of sense. We haven't really developed the infrastructure here for hydrogen.
So where is the next step now for this to go? Where do we take fuel cell technology? I mean, you mentioned this conference. So are there steps that can be taken over the next few years to try and implement this, or is just the cost too great?
Well, the cost is great, but I think Ballard has switched over from chasing the dream of automobiles to using it as an energy and stationary products, like backup power for diesel generators and those. That's more practical because you don't have to drive around and find the fuel. So that's one area that really has some upside, because it is growing, and I mean it's like going to be a multi-billion-dollar industry in the next few years. So growing every year. So
all right. So it's called the Fuel Cells 2013 conference at the Convention Center, and it goes from now until the 19th.
Yep.
All right.
Great.
Thanks very much.
Thanks, Steve.